Hi guys, thanks for checking the video out. So last week I played in the Cornish festival, so it's a 3-day pro-am. It's the biggest pro-am in the UK, so a massive event. You had some top golfers there, guys that are currently on tour, guys that have played Ryder Cup, so doing a really strong field, not only just like the West Region players that I usually play, but like across the country, and like I say, some tour, the best of the best. So was a late entry. Was a late entry. I actually filled in for a guy, Dave Dixon, who was meant to be playing. He has got a tour card. He was on the reserve list for last week's event in China, and he got the nod and got in. Did well in the event as well. So doing that was pleasing and definitely worth him making what was quite a long trip. But yeah, so I came in at short notice, and I've been very busy with the university team. So I've been very busy with my coaching. I've been on the road. So not only coaching, I haven't actually had my clubs with me for the last few weeks. So I'm very rusty, not match ready at all. But it's a great event. I mean, the weather was good. Playing Carline Bay, Trevose, and St Enodox. It's three really nice courses. So yeah, I was available, so I went and played. But yeah, the first day played at Carline Bay, and it's a place I won last year, so I knew I hadn't prepared well, but obviously I had good vibes going into or going back to a course that I had done well in, and was so bad off the tee, and it's the first time, and I'm being honest, the first time I've genuinely been embarrassed about my golf at a pro-am, because obviously I'm playing with guys that never seen me play. They were expecting a tour pro, and then I turn up and hit two really bad low duck hooks off of the second tee. I've been struggling with it a little bit and just haven't really had the time to work on it. Getting very toe bound in my strikes as well, which is really making the problem worse. So hit some horrendous drives to start with, and it totally shook me, and I felt so bad with driving for the rest of the day. First time in an event, there were holes that you should be using driver, and I was either using iron or 3-wood because I just felt so uncomfortable. And you can kind of learn from it, and I think a lot of people watching this video now probably don't get to play as much golf as they would like, and probably go a whole week or 2 weeks without playing, and then you get onto the course and it starts bad, and it's so easy to get defensive, and I was very much planning what I didn't want to do, so I was thinking, well, like the next hole I need a driver, but there was out of bounds left, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to go there, so I need to do something different. Whereas when you're in that situation, you really need to still focus on what you're trying to do and try to implement that rather than looking at the negatives, because your vision can get too broad. I mean, you need to have a nice focus so you can almost tell your brain what you're trying to do. And when you start seeing the trouble and seeing the issues, your like focus and attention gets too wide, and you end up really struggling. And I struggled big time at Carline Bay. I shot six over. I had 6 bogeys in a row. I got on the old bogey train, but I should have dropped shots before that 6-hole period. And actually, to my credit, I did work quite hard in the first half of the back 9. I got it back to 4 over, and unfortunately bogeyed the last 2. But it was a 6 over, and it could have been more, really. If I'm honest, it was never looking at anything lower on a beautiful day. So yeah, I was very disappointed with the first day, but then the next 2 days, and I was really pleased with the way I played. I switched drivers. I took my XR out and I put my Alpha back in, very much because of the toe strikes. And with my Alpha double black diamond, you can change the weights. So I changed the weights into basically slow the toe up. So it trying to encourage you not to hit it left. So that seemed to help, and I then drove the ball really well, to the point it was like, well, if I'd driven that well on the first stadium, I would have been able to shoot a really good score. But obviously you can't go back, and other damage had been done. But yeah, Enodoc played really well, but I didn't have a particularly good score. I had an 8 and a 7. Got a bit unlucky with the 8. It's a blind second, and I just wasn't the best of shots, but didn't find it, and then it spiraled into an 8, and that was disappointing. And the 7 I had didn't hit the best of drives, and then got very unfortunate. I had to chip it out, and again, that the 10th at St Enodoc is their hardest hole anyway, and it was playing in massive winds on day 2. So again, the 8 and the 7 turned what would have been a very good round into an average one. But what you can learn from that is there's knowledge of result and knowledge of performance. So I had somebody on Twitter, I said I'm really pleased with how I played, and somebody commented straight away saying, well, how can you be pleased with a 10 over? And it's very much knowledge of performance rather than knowledge of result. So yes, I'm obviously not pleased with the result, but the performance within that, I was actually pretty pleased with. And that led on to Trevose, so the next day where I shot level par. And whereas on day 1 it couldn't have really been any better than 6 over, it couldn't have really been any more than level on the last day. So I was really pleased with the way I played. Fortunately, 3-putted the last. It would have been nice to finish with a under par round. I think that just wasn't meant to be. And the greens just really slick. And Trevose, they've made some changes, so it was already a good course, but they made some changes, put some bunkers in and stuff. So it was looking really good. So great event. If you ever get a chance to put a team in and go down, it is a fantastic event. I was obviously playing with 3 people I didn't know, and they were top guys. So yeah, had a great week, and it was nice to be back out on the course. I was aware when I went into the event I'm 2-3 weeks away from playing competitive golf, just through a lack of practice, a lack of preparation. So sometimes when that happens, you have to just accept that maybe your scores won't be too good. Try and take the positives. Like I say, that day 1 was just too negative. I mean, was really got shook up basically, and yeah, got shook up is what happens. And I get it a lot in lessons. People say, well, I start bad and I can't continue, and you've just really got to try and put the effort in and focus in what you're doing. And the other 2 days, I was really pleased with the way I played, and all facets of the game were looking quite good. So yeah, looking forward to playing a few more events now over the summer. I mean, there was a lot of good in there, and I'm playing Rick and Pete in a couple weeks. So again, Carline Bay, I was just like, oh, how can I go play these boys? Because they've been playing quite a bit, and they've been playing quite nicely. So I was thinking I can't get the ball in the air. But yeah, so I'm feeling a little more positive, and I'm coming for those boys. But yeah, get some comments down below. I think what I experienced there, sometimes you just got to enjoy it, and if you haven't done the preparation, you just go out and try and enjoy yourself and appreciate being able to play. Because if you haven't been able to play for a couple of weeks, appreciate being able to play rather than beating yourself up saying that you're not shooting the scores that you want to shoot. And then, are you the type of person, if you start bad, you find it hard to keep going? Or do you find it hard to turn it around? If you start bad, you tend to play not great for the rest of the round. It would be nice to hear what's kind of going on with your golf. Might do a few more videos on this sort of topic. So yeah, if you've had issues like I'm suggesting, get some comments down below, and we'll see if we can try and solve some things. Hope to catch you soon.